welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show with a fondness for fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, the host of the Radio 1 breakfast show. Yes, the Noel Edmonds of our time. It's Nick Grimshaw. And the star of Ask Rhod Gilbert, Rhod Gilbert's work experience, and the Rhod Gilbert radio show. Anyone? It's Rhod Gilbert. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a TV presenter who has hosted Crufts on 3 occasions, which in dog years is almost a lifetime. It's Claire Balding. And a comedian who left a New York performing arts school with a degree in musical theatre. A fantastic achievement, but he doesn't want to make a song and dance of it. It's the star of Catastrophe, Rob Delaney. And so we'll begin with round 1, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction, and Rhod is first up tonight.
One Friday after school, I swapped our family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. When my mum found out on Monday morning, she made me swap them back.
Right. Well, when was this, first of all? How old were you?
13.
But more important than how old was he or anything to do with him, the cat. What? I mean, seriously, we're very concerned about the cat. I am.
I'm a bit more concerned about the Smurf, if I'm going to be honest.
I'm most concerned, the Scotch egg, what was your logic? Would you hide it under your bed for a whole weekend?
Why don't you three have a little chat, and when you worked out collectively what you're most concerned about, come back to me.
Can I start?
Please do.
Okay.
Please do.
What was the cat called? What kind of cat? What colour, please?
The cat was called Snowdrop, and as the name implies, it was tortoiseshell.
Who did you swap with?
Should I name him?
I don't know, unless he's in prison at the moment and he's...
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a long time. It was a kid who lived on an estate nearby.
Just give us his first name.
Lee.
Just with the Scotch egg, you wanted the Scotch egg. You wanted the Scotch egg so badly that you traded a living mammal for it, and then you just put it under your bed for 48 hours.
To be fair, trading a Scotch egg for a living mammal is exactly what's necessary in the manufacture process of a Scotch egg. You start off... People have decided they have live pigs, but they don't like the live pigs enough. What they want is no pigs, but Scotch eggs.
Right. Why did you want the Scotch egg? I presume for the obvious, that you like them and you wanted to eat it.
Yes.
Why didn't you just eat it there and then?
Why didn't I just eat...
You said you swapped them back again on the Monday.
So why did...
That suggests you still had the Scotch
well, hang
egg
on. I mean,
the
was it
Monday.
the same one, or had you consumed it and then you just had to give a Scotch egg back?
That's right, Rob.
It's like the bloody Welsh Mafia, this. You can't help him out.
Could I get back to the cat? Cat's obviously very territorial, so would the cat not try and come home? Because they normally do if they've gone out away.
He didn't. Not that weekend.
Talk us through the actual exchange process.
I tell you what, Rob, you stand up. We'll go through it. Come on,
I am standing up.
I'll role play it with you. Right. OK, so imagine I've got my family cat in my hand.
All right.
And you in with this hand, you have a Scotch egg.
Where are we now, Rhod? Where are we? We're in Wales.
Are
we in Wales?
We're in Wales.
Oh.
We're in Wales.
Isn't that nice? Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute. It's lovely. Go on.
Right. So we're in Wales.
Yeah.
I've got a cat in my hand.
All right.
Right. You've got in this hand a Smurf and a Scotch egg.
Yes.
Right, now we swap them over.
All right, here we go.
Right,
this is how it happens.
It's going to be difficult.
And that, my lord, is the mechanics of the exchange.
Wow. You can put the cat down now.
But gently, Rob, gently, yes.
So what do you think, Lee? Does this sound truthful to you?
I don't think he's shown any affection for Snowdrop, and on that basis alone, I think it can't be true.
Well, weirdly, the exact same reason, I think it is true, because I know him to be heartless.
I can show you some affection. What do you want to know about Snowdrop? I can show affection with Snowdrop.
All right, how would you stroke him?
Her.
No, got ya. that you have changed the sex of that cat at least 3 times.
I promise you.
You have.
I don't think vets should agree to do that.
It's always been a female cat, Sandra.
What are you thinking, Rob? Are you thinking it's the truth?
It's really starting to crumble at the end here, so I'm smelling a lie.
Both saying a lie. My team say lie. We will go with lie.
OK, you're saying lie. Rod, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. Rod didn't swap his family cat for a Scotch egg and a Smurf. Nick, you're up next.
OK, here we go. I once called a friend in New York and asked her to call the police in London because I thought there was a burglar at my house in London.
Lee?
Where were you when you made the call?
In the house.
Why didn't you phone...
The police.
Yes.
Because I'd been messaging my friend. I felt like she'd gone, so I called her, and as I was on the phone to her, I thought there was someone breaking into the house. So I was like, you should phone the police.
What did you hear exactly?
I just heard, like, irregular noises from downstairs.
Irregular
Footsteps,
noises.
Doors closing, so I was like, well, who's that?
And were you living on your own at the time?
I did have a housemate.
And did you
but
not think it might be that person?
No.
Why?
Because at the time, I was doing a nighttime radio show. So I would get home late, and she'd always, like, be quiet when you get in at 1 o'clock in the morning, because I'm asleep.
Ah, so you assumed her to be asleep?
Yeah.
Why don't you put the phone down and phone the police?
Because I didn't want to speak in case the burglar...
But you are speaking, you're telling her to phone the police.
Well, I was like, I need to go. I think there's someone here. Call the police. So that's why I had to get off the phone and not use the phone.
Well, look, Nick. Let's reenact it.
OK.
I'm going to be your friend.
OK.
In New York. She's an American.
She is.
Thank God. I thought you were going to say, by coincidence, she sounds like Ronnie Corbett.
Yeah, no. She's a very sassy Jewish lady.
All right. Yes. Now, Nick, how are things going? Over there. Did you say she didn't sound like Ronnie Corbett?
No, she's the opposite to Ronnie Corbett.
Oh, she's
But
a kind of... She's like New York Jewish kind of person like that.
Pretty spot on.
OMG! So listen, you finished your radio show. How did it go?
I love your impressions, you know that. But you're texting, we don't need the voice.
Oh, he wants me to call him. Sure, I will.
Hi, Amy. How's America?
Oh, I love it. There's so many Americans here. Hey, what's that noise in the
what is that
background?
noise?
I heard something.
I can hear something downstairs.
Oh, you were having trouble with your stomach again?
No, like downstairs. It's something like downstairs in the house downstairs. I'll pretend to be asleep. You call the police.
What, the NYPD?
No. My police.
All right, I'll call.
Okay.
Love you.
So I put the phone down, and then I just go like this. And then fear for my life.
Well, hold on, because it's all happening stateside. Well, I mean, we can go on like this all night.
So then what happened there? So go on, talk us through the rest of the story.
So then she makes the call.
Yeah.
So that's like, call the police, because there's not the 999 number, there's like the police round the corner, you know, the local police.
She went and logged on and looked for your local police station.
Yeah.
Why didn't
you
you
don't
phone...
have to log on.
Why
There's
didn't you phone
internet on
999? Listen, Sunbeam, you do on my Atari.
So she called the police.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that it wasn't an intruder at all.
How did you find that out?
I found that out when my flatmate burst in.
What's she bursting into your room for at night?
Because she had been on the wine. So the bang, bang, bang noises were her, like, looking for wine or something, I don't know.
And you said what?
I said, oh, my God.
Hypocrite.
I said I thought I was going to be killed by the intruder. The police are coming. So then we were like, well, we need to call the police now.
So you phoned me back in New York. Go on.
No, I didn't phone you.
You want me to cancel that? Get on your way, honey.
I just went direct.
So when you want me, I'm right here waiting. But when you don't want me, you just drop me. Well, screw you, Grimshaw.
I'm not surprised Amy doesn't have any friends where she lives.
What are you thinking, Lee?
What do we think, Rob?
I believe it. I
believe it?
I believe this man.
I've been taken for a ride. I like it.
You're starting to sound more and more like Amy every day.
So what are you thinking, Claire?
I believe it.
Well, I think it must be true then.
True, OK. Nick, truth or lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. Nick did ring his friend in New York and ask her to call the police for him. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. And it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Greg. So, Claire, what is Greg to you?
This is Greg, and he is the RSPCA officer who came to my aid when a squirrel climbed into my handbag and wouldn't get out.
Rob Delaney, how do you know Greg?
Well, this is Greg, and we once stayed up all night together, holding on to a fence when a game of who can hold on to the fence the longest got out of hand.
Finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Greg?
This is Greg. I was so nervous about appearing on TV for the first time that I made him come with me and pretend we were a double act.
David's team, where do you want to start?
So, Claire, where were you when the squirrel jumped into your handbag?
I was filming in Devon for Country File, and I was doing one of those links, you know, when you walk along the cliff top, essentially, and I'd left my bag under a tree, and sometimes there are little sweeties left in it, and I assume that is why the squirrel got in it.
Yeah.
You know when you get those selection chocolates and there's some, the topics that nobody likes? I think I'd left, except unless you're a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which case,
Well, it's the one thing they say about squirrels, they're not fussy when it comes to Quality Street. So as you approached the bag, what
Yes.
did you see? How were you alerted to
It
this?
was moving.
And what did you do then? Did you continue to approach?
Yeah, I thought there's something in my bag. And then when I got close, I thought it'll jump out because I'm near to it, but it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So you're approaching the bag, Claire.
Bag is
It's
moving.
moving about. You know
Yes.
there's a squirrel. You continue to approach.
Yes.
What happens then?
The squirrel's doing its thing and
Continues to
probably,
rummage.
Yeah, going through my diary. My
Helping
phone.
yourself to a strawberry cream.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know
Yeah.
why people are so fussy.
The cameraman said, "Don't touch it because you might get bitten," and he said, "We'll call the RSPCA. They'll know what to do."
Had you tried shaking? Had you tried tipping it upside down?
No, because all the
I've seen
stuff's
women
in
do
my...
that to get things out.
No, not if you've got earrings in the bag as well, in the middle of a field in Devon. You're not going to do that.
That's a great image of the squirrel wearing the earrings and reading the diary. She's got a busy December. No wonder she's got a full dates.
So they rang the RSPCA. Greg came up to a
Yes.
cliff top in Devon,
It did take a while.
and the squirrel was still in your bag.
Yeah.
How did he get it out? How did he get the squirrel out
As
of
it
the bag?
happened, I think the squirrel had probably had enough by then, so he didn't even have to do very
Oh,
much.
the squirrel came out of his own accord?
Indeed. Yes, he approached the bag.
All right, David, what about the others?
OK, Rob, a fence holding on contest
Yes.
that got out of hand.
Yes,
You said all night, Rob, was that right? It went on all night, the fence holding...
correct.
Are you standing on the fence and holding... Are you
No, we're standing
on the
next to a
ground?
fence. We're standing next to a wooden picket fence, touching it.
Touching.
And where were you?
We were in Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
One of you said, I'm not saying it's boring here in Massachusetts, but who fancies holding onto that fence all night?
Fair. There had just been a documentary that was sweeping the nation called Hands on a Hard Body, and it was about these people who could win a Toyota pickup truck if whoever held on to whoever touched it for the longest. So we had just seen this documentary, and we were very drunk. So we thought, we were like, wouldn't it be funny if we did this? And then we did it for 9 hours.
And who is Greg? I mean, how was he there?
Greg is the older brother. You can see he's quite a bit older than me. He was the older brother of my friend that I went to college with.
Did you learn a lot about Greg?
More than I'd care to know.
Could we have 5 Greg facts?
Opened his own bakery.
Let's see.
That was the big one.
Who won?
We agreed at 5 o'clock in the morning that we were both winners, and that as 5 a.m. approached,
So you started this at what time?
about 8 p.m.
You started that at 8 p.m. That seems very early to start a fence-holding game.
Yeah, it's quite early to go that strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you started drinking?
4 or so in the afternoon.
All right, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
OK, now what about Lee?
Okay, Lee.
Just remind us of what it was that you said.
This is Greg, and I was so nervous about my first TV appearance that I made him come along with me and pretend we were a double act.
What was your first TV appearance?
It was on a programme called Pump Television.
What's that?
It was a sort of magazine sort of type show. It was a bit funky and happening. It was like the One Show, but for people that are allowed out in the day.
And what were you doing on the show?
Just being interviewed. It was Reading Television, and I just won a competition for new comedians up in Edinburgh.
What year was this?
1995.
But you didn't win in Edinburgh till 1997.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I've completely messed up the story. I went on the show, Pump TV, to tell them that I could predict the future.
You know, you said to us that you were a double act. What sort of a double act?
So I rang up and said, oh, sorry, I'm actually... I do a bit of double act work as well. Can I bring my double act partner on as well? And they said, yeah, fine. What does your double act partner do? And without thinking, I said, he's a juggler.
What happened when you got there? Did he have to get there and juggle?
Well, this is the thing. There's another twist to this story, because obviously...
Is the other twist to this story there's a complete lie?
No, that... I don't think that'd be a twist. So he comes on the show, and I tell him fairly last minute, I think with maybe an hour or two's notice, oh, by the way, I may have told them that you were a juggler. So now he's panicking, isn't he? So what does he do? Because he thinks he's going to be asked to juggle on the show, and he can't juggle.
Yeah.
So he bandaged his arm up. And so thus he wasn't... If they said, can you juggle, he can say, I can't, I've hurt my arm.
So all the way there in the car, you're not talking about why you're driving all those ways?
We didn't drive together. I couldn't. He'd injured his arm juggling. No, that's not... that's not right, is he? No, I'm starting to think. No, I met him at the studio because he actually is from Reading. That's handy, isn't it? That was good.
Was there any other guests on the TV show?
I can't remember. I think there was a person who had a dog and the dog did something.
Yeah.
There was a bit of... It's amazing.
Or maybe he actually didn't have a dog, but he just persuaded the dog to come on because he was nervous.
All right, we need an answer. So, David's team. Is Greg Claire's squirrel saviour, Rob's fence feeler, or Lee's pretend partner?
It's a pretty unappetising menu, isn't it?
I don't believe Claire Baldy. I don't believe that she would be scared. Somebody who hosts Country Fire.
If there was a sound man there with a boom, you could have used that furry boom to entice... Like, maybe you could have pretended it was a badger.
So if you were a lady and you saw your handbag moving, you wouldn't immediately think squirrel in there, would you? You'd think, oh, God, it's gone off again.
What about Rob's story?
There was a lot of detail with Rob's fence-holding story.
I like Rob's. It could very well be true, but...
I think so. Greg's hands were made for holding on to fences.
So you think Rod, who do you think?
I think because Lee so rarely sounds plausible, I think it'd be nice to give him a little go.
I think that when Lee went on Pump TV in 1995 with an average viewing figure of 14, he was too nervous to go on his own.
I do.
Yeah, I think Rob.
You're going to say Rob Delaney.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
OK, so, Greg, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Greg, and I pretended to be in a double act with Lee.
Yes, Greg is Lee's pretend partner. Now, we have a picture of Lee and Greg on TV together. There they are.
Look, I can see Greg in the picture.
Taking you 9 series together.
Who's the really skinny fella?
Who's the 70-year-old man who's done it?
I'll tell you what, David. Coming from you, that is rich.
It was
True, I
Greg.
was very thin. I was 9 stone, though. I was a skinny lad.
Blimey.
Good Lord. But we've made great advances in medicine, and he's here with us today. Thanks very much, Greg. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lives, and we start with... It's David.
The night before the bin men come, I go to bed wearing earmuffs. That way, I'm spared their irritating early morning clank of trash.
What day do the bin men come?
Thursday morning.
I think it's instantly believable because we know him to be grumpy and, you know, intolerant and easily disturbed.
Oh, hang on, can I have a go with the list?
Why ear muffs and not just little in-ear thingies, you know?
I don't like things
in your ears.
in there. I don't like to be, you know, penetrated.
What do your ear muffs look like, David?
They're grey.
Do they have, like, a nice plastic strap along the top?
No, they're two single, separate muffs.
Oh, I see. You put them on your ears, then put a Hoover on your mouth.
Yeah.
Precisely. And then you have to block all the holes quickly.
Yeah. No, they have got a linking plasticity.
Are your muffs fluffy?
Yeah, they have a. I would, you know, there's. Yeah. I mean, yes, they're fluffy.
What do you sleep in apart from the earmuffs?
Nothing at all.
So you're naked?
Pyjamas.
So sometimes your relatively new wife wakes up on a Thursday morning with your matching pyjamas and earmuffs.
The earmuffs don't match the pyjamas.
No, I know that, but...
Does she secretly quite like you in the earmuffs? I mean, like, does she say you look very sweet?
It's not become a problem in our relationship.
I would have ended the sentence as, does she secretly quite like you? Because I get phone calls often from her going, I don't know how this can carry on. The earmuffs, the matching pyjamas...
Now, when do the muffs go on? Because we get into bed at night, don't we? But we have several things to accomplish before we go to sleep.
Yeah.
Be it a quick look at an iPad or tablet, be it browsing a book, or be it celebrating a very special aspect of the marriage. That's broadcastable.
What, the actual
your
event?
Proudest boast.
So would you wait for the muffs to go on until all other business has been attended to?
All other business has been attended to, be it a crossword or something even less broadcastable, has all happened before the muffs go on. The only thing I have not done, and I'm very particular about this, before I put the earmuffs on, is go to sleep. I find it very difficult to put them on whilst unconscious.
But what if you've had a particularly exerting crossword, OK? The two of you have been going at this crossword for half an hour, 40 minutes, relentlessly. You finally finish the crossword. Let's say 14 down has been particularly tricky, and you fall back when, oh, my God, that was fantastic. Where are me muffs?
Well, I don't know if it's just a thing in our relationship, but crosswords don't take us that long.
What are you thinking, Lee and Lee's team?
What do we think?
I think that it is not true.
OK.
Don't you have to wake up to pee sometimes? That's when I'd throw them on, you know, all night. I don't know.
I don't always wake up to pee.
I wish I...
So, you're saying it's... What do we think?
Essentially, I think it's a well-told lie.
You think it's a lie? OK, we'll say it's a lie.
You're saying lie. OK, David, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David doesn't wear earmuffs the night before the bin men come. Next. It's Lee.
Because I can never remember the phonetic alphabet, I have invented one of my own, based on things I can see from my bedroom window. Now, I never forget it.
Now, in case there are people watching, perhaps, who don't know what the phonetic alphabet
Can
is...
I just say, I'm one of them?
It's, you know, it's kind of Alpha, Bravo, Charlie...
Why is that called the phonetic alphabet? There's nothing phonetic about it.
Just do us a favour, lads, keep discussing. It gives me more thinking time.
So, Lee...
Yes?
Take us through it.
Well, where would you like me to start?
A.
A. A for apple tree. And to the point where I will do this on the phone when they say, what's your postcode? I will
Really?
use these.
Well,
things.
carry on.
B, this is the one that can get confusing. B for bird, because obviously the bird isn't always there, but you can always hear or sense a bird. So B for bird.
You can always
C for cat. C for cat. There's always a cat. I think I know why there's no birds. D, think you know where I'm going with this? I'm surprised the cat's still there. I really am.
Do you sometimes find there's no C when there's a D?
Often I can say D, there'll definitely be no C and B ever. You know.
We don't need it all. What's H?
H will be for hospital.
What's V?
V is for a word I'm not allowed to say on national television. But all I will say is the next door neighbour, she likes to sunbathe naked. Unless, this is a weird one, can't do C and V at the same time because she's got an allergy to cats.
R.
Oh, no, it's a shame, innit?
R.
I would say.
What's the name of the hospital?
What?
What?
H. You said H for hospital.
All I can see is the A and E sign, or as I call it, Apple Tree and Edna. Take me to Apple Tree and Edna.
So you don't know the name of your nearest hospital?
Not interested. I don't need to know the name of it.
I'm afraid at that point, and only at that point, I cease to believe you. What otherwise seemed like
I don't know the name
excellent
of it, but I
system.
can certainly spell hospital for you. Edna.
For hospital! For hospital! You said it's for hospital!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That was it. Even though I say so myself, that was a bad mistake.
So what are your team thinking?
I don't believe it at all. At all.
What about you, Nick?
I think that he does do this, and he's made it a nice, lovely story to throw us. But I think that Lee actually does, when he can't think of the real-life ones, will say Edna.
Just
or
to be
whatever.
clear, perhaps the most fascinating moment of the whole evening, Nick, you think that's true? It's true. OK, it's time to decide.
A lie.
Lie. OK, you say it's a lie. Well, here we go. Lee, is it true or is it a lie?
You have to actually ask.
Yes, it was all a lie. Lee hasn't invented his own phonetic alphabet. And that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. And I can reveal that Lee's team have won by 4 points to 1. But it's not just a team game. My individual liar of the week this week is Rob Delaney. Yes, it's Rob Delaney. All night long, the American has been lying through his perfectly aligned pearly white teeth. Good night. Good evening, welcome to Would I Lie to You, the show with tall tales and tantalising truths. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a TV presenter whose knowledge of cars is second only to my own. My personal favourite is a red one. It's Richard Hammond. And a comedian who once did a TV show for Channel 4 where he wrestled an alligator. Who says Sky TV has all the best sports? It's Sean Locke. And over on Lee Mack's team tonight, someone who has helped transform British tennis and helped ruin British dancing. It's Judy Murray. And a South African comedian who recently performed on the Royal Variety Show. 90 minutes of the finest entertainment crammed into 7.5 hours. It's Trevor Noah. So let's begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. Now, to make things harder, they've never seen the card before, they've no idea what they'll be faced with, and it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Trevor, you're first up tonight.
I used to call strangers on the telephone and convince them that they were talking to Nelson Mandela.
David's team.
Why?
Because everyone loves Nelson Mandela.
I mean, how often did Nelson Mandela cold call people?
Were you selling anything as Nelson Mandela?
No, just...
He wasn't pretending to be Nelson Mandela during his telesales period.
Right. How did you start the conversation? So if I've answered the phone, hello?
Hello, Richard.
It's Nelson Mandela!
What will you say next?
How are you, Richard? I wanted to thank you for fighting against bad things.
You haven't seen Top Gear, have
you? Who did you target?
Anybody. I just dialed numbers on the phone.
Well, random numbers?
Yeah, like it was just, you know.
What was your hit rate on that for people who believed it was Nelson Mandela and didn't?
100%.
Really?
Well, everyone, how many did you try? Is it just Richard now?
Yeah, it was fairly convincing.
Do you ever let the people know at the end? You go, it's not Nelson Mandela.
No, because that would crush them.
How would you know when to end the conversation as Nelson Mandela with this unsuspecting, gullible, hopefully stranger?
Well, they would think I'm Nelson Mandela, and then initially it's wow, and then I guess the next thing becomes why are you calling? And then afterwards, then they start asking questions. Oh, what are you up to? And then you go, no.
And what are you wearing? You're not wearing that shirt again, are you, Nelson? Sick of that shirt.
But what if you'd called an apartheid-friendly white Afrikaner? Feel the tension in the room.
Just check, Rob. Have you done light entertainment before?
You're calling me.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, who am I speaking to?
You're talking to Tobias Cruelty. This is some of my best work.
We're just glad it's someone else other than Ronnie Corbett for a change.
Who is this that is talking to me?
This is Nelson Mandela.
What? Where are you?
I'm free.
Are you sure you're not Morgan Freeman?
That movie hasn't come out yet.
Well, do you know what? I've always been pro-apartheid, but this frank exchange of views with you has really turned me the other way. I wish you all the very best.
And to you.
So what do you think? Could this be true?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's true as well, yeah.
So you're saying true?
We're saying true.
You're saying
We're
true.
definitely saying
all
true.
right.
Yeah.
Trevor, truth or lie?
True.
Yes, it's true. Trevor did used to call people and pretend to be Nelson Mandela. Sean Locke, you're next.
While travelling around Europe, my friend and I came up with a scheme to make money on the beach.
Please, team.
What was it?
It was jewellery. We used to sell jewellery.
What kind of jewellery was it?
It was earrings.
And where did you get the earrings from?
To be perfectly honest, we'd make them.
Oh, it's homemade jewellery. Here we go.
And where was the beach?
Where was the beach? It's right next to the sea. It was in Greece.
What was it about being on that beach? You thought, earrings?
I couldn't make donuts.
Okay. And what did you make the earrings out of?
Well, I didn't make them. My friend made them.
And what do you make them out of?
Beads.
Now, this friend, Sean, what was his name?
Spud.
Spud?
Spud. Spud.
Yeah.
Was his name.
Spud the Jew. But my job was to sell them.
Oh,
so you're the salesman. So give us a bit of pad. Imagine David he's on the beach in his thong, he's relaxing. Finally, he can be himself, OK? And you come along and you look at his ears, they're unadorned, you think there's an opportunity, off you go.
Well, the first thing, if he's got a thong on, I'd ask him to turn over. You can roll onto your back, please. And would you like me to rub a bit of cream into that area, because I don't think that's ever seen the sunshine. He wasn't the target market, isn't...
Well, Richard likes a bit of jewellery. You like a bit of jewellery around the neck, so sell them to Richard.
Are you having a nice time?
Yeah, I'm having a lovely time.
Do you want to buy some earrings?
Not really, no.
What's wrong with me? I'm turned over and everything.
Why not do this? Spud! Help!
What was Spud's real name?
Keith.
Why did you call him Spud? He always had a jacket on? What?
What are you thinking?
Judy, do we think that's truth or a lie?
I think it's a lie.
You're
I can't see him selling beaded earrings on a beach.
Would you buy anything from him?
No, nothing.
You know what I'm going to go? I think Judy's right.
You think it's a lie?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the team.
You're going to say lie. Sean, truth or lie?
True!
Yes, it's true. Sean did used to sell earrings on the beach. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So, please welcome this week's special guest, Ben. So, Richard, what is Ben to you?
This is Ben, and I once convinced him that he'd been spooked by a ghost in a country house.
Sean, how do you know Ben?
Well, this is Ben, and I had to talk to him for over an hour to keep him calm when he got trapped in a portaloo.
David, what's your relationship with Ben?
This is Ben, and he very recently took me to my first ever football match. and was disappointed that I nodded off for a bit in the second half.
Lee's team, where do you want to start?
Well, first of all, Sean, how was he trapped in a portaloo?
Well, it was... the lock wouldn't work, wouldn't open.
Why was it such a tense situation that you had to calm him down? Why is he panicking?
Because Ben, and I'm sure you'll notice that, I mean, you just have to look at him to know, he suffers from a lot of anxieties. I mean, he looks so comfortable here, doesn't he? Just so relaxed under all these lights. He's not. Inside, he's...
Where was the portaloo?
On a campsite.
Had you met him before?
I'd seen him on the campsite.
And he'd nodded. Hello. All
yeah.
right.
Well, you know what it's like. You walk across a campsite and you've got a toilet roll in your hand. Everyone knows, you know, where you're going. They sort of smile at you, so where you... It's like you've all
been there.
You've all been there, and you're walking across and you've got a toilet roll and people go, all right, you go...
Weirdly...
What again? And then they've got that what again look without saying it.
So did you go to use the portaloo?
No, I was going out of the campsite.
And you heard... What did you hear?
Well, someone sort of struggling with the mechanism.
Oh, no shouting at this point?
If someone, you know, it's a matter of politeness. If someone's making sort of struggling noises in a portaloo, you don't think you can do much to help. I like to think, and even if I could, I don't really want to get involved in that problem. But as I was walking out, I thought, it looks like it was wobbling slightly. And I went back, I said, are you all right? And he went, no, I'm not.
And you talked to him for, you said, an hour?
Yes, yeah, we just...
Well, I'm curious to know what you filled an hour with.
Well, I just chatted about how his camping weekend was going.
Well, not very well. Yeah.
So you're in the thing with him, and eventually what happened? What was the outcome?
Yeah, how did he get out?
The guy came,
He died in
the
there.
campsite manager came.
And then when he came out, you obviously the first time you'd seen each other.
Yeah.
And how was that? Did you fall in love?
I'll be honest with you, I think he was a bit disappointed. It was like a blind date.
Now, who else would you like to quiz, Lee?
Richard, could you remind us again, please, of your...
I once persuaded Ben that he'd been spooked by a ghost in a country house.
And what was the story? How did you convince him?
Well, he was in a separate room, and I saw, like, a stool and realised, hang on, I can hit the rafters, knowing where he was. That'll sound like footsteps coming towards him. So I did, and he believed it was a ghost.
Yeah, what were you doing in this house? Is this just like an empty house where people are...
No, we worked together in radio.
Yeah.
And we were doing a ghost hunt.
Why was Ben in the room by himself?
Because he just wanted to be brave and go off, and he'd sat in the scariest, supposedly most haunted room in the house, which happened to be directly above where I was in the hall.
And how high were the ceilings in the room that you were in?
Not fairly high, not massively high.
Well, how high?
If you think of me plus a chair, about that high.
That's a very low ceiling.
Oh, give up!
No, it is.
Really?
Listen,
Cheap shot.
I am 6 foot.
All right.
I'm just
We got
saying,
it.
I'm 6 foot and it's great.
Is it?
How did Ben react when you were making these noises?
Well-
Did it spook him?
Yeah. He ran straight out through the door, which would have been running through where the ghost was.
Oh,
I
so
see,
he properly
right.
panicked.
Oh, God, absolutely terrified.
Did you? He was
Yeah.
Well, I know that about Ben. He does get very, very spooked. Anything like that freaks him right
Thank
out.
goodness he could open the lock on that door,
Yes.
you know. When did he find out that it had all been a wheeze?
I told him about 10 years later.
10 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You've let him live with this trauma for 10 years?
No, look at it this way, and I explained it to him like this at the time, because he was quite cross, because you would be. And I said, no, listen, you've dined out on that story. I know you have. You'd have told people at dinner parties, oh, the most haunted house.
Like people saying Nelson Mandela once rang me up.
Yeah.
David, remind us again, please.
This is Ben, and he took me to my first ever football match, and then was disappointed when I dozed off for a bit in the second half.
When was this?
This was last season.
Oh, he's already got all the words, hasn't he? He has been training for this one. Last season.
Yeah.
What was the match?
It was association football. And it was between Tottenham Hotspur and Hull.
And who won?
Tottenham Hotspur.
How do you know?
I went to it.
And where was it played? In Tottenham or at Hull?
In Tottenham.
Do you remember the name of the ground?
What if I could? Would that make this definitely true?
I'm not willing to say how I feel about that.
Okay.
So you say it.
I'm not willing to say how I feel about anything, but that's just because I'm British. Yes, it was at White Hart Lane. Thank you. Yes, I do have a research team.
Do you remember the colour of the kits?
Let's say one team was in white and the other team wasn't.
What colour was the goalkeeper wearing?
Green. All over, with a little tricorn hat. As I recall.
So, how do you know Ben?
He was at school with me.
OK, and if you don't like football, why would you have gone?
I'm an idiot. I like to... no, I was about to say I like to experience new things. No, I don't. But occasionally I get bullied into experiencing new things under peer pressure. He said, you're always slagging off football. Why don't you come along and the atmosphere will be great, you might quite like it, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll shut up for a bit.
Who are you there to support?
Well, vaguely. He's a Spurs fan. That's the shortening.
Nice.
And so I was broadly, hoping his team would win.
Do you remember the score?
I think there was one goal.
To the Tottenham Hotspurs?
Exactly, and it was on the basis of that the victory was declared to be theirs.
Back to you in the studio.
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team. Is Ben Richard's frightened friend, Sean's Portaloo pal, or David's matchday mate?
I don't see Sean chatting to somebody trapped in a Portaloo. He doesn't strike me without laughing. Like,
Yeah,
you don't...
it's true, isn't it? That is a very good point. I've known Sean long enough to know he would be going, oh, come on, everyone, let's push it over.
Richard and the roof is where he lost me. Just the heights.
Yeah, the height. It's too high for you.
No, just also like to exert enough force to hear it through the roof with your like you maybe you would have barely touched but then your height. When we looked, no.
I think they're saying that in a stately home, any person, however tall, plus a stool, they're doubted. It's not just you.
Oh, no,
it's just him.
You said that like he was a Spanish ambassador and you was worried about being insulted. You go, I think, Ambassador, it's any person. It's nothing to do with your height, sir.
No, not Richard.
What about David in the football?
Well, it is possible that he would have a friend, I suppose. So what
are you going to say?
I suppose we're left with David, are we?
Yeah.
OK.
You think it's David. Right, Ben, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Ben, and Richard spooked me by pretending to be a ghost in a country house.
Really sorry, mate. Really sorry about that.
Thank you very much, Ben. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with... It's Lee.
One Saturday morning, I lay on my back in the garden and pretended I'd fallen off a ladder so that I could get out of a family trip to IKEA.
David's team.
What had you been supposedly doing on the ladder to fall off it?
So, my wife said we're going to IKEA, and then you should be upset if I said no. So I said, yeah, no problems. Can we go in about an hour? She went, yeah, no problems. Why? And I said, because I've got to do something in the garden.
Yeah, what were you doing?
Trimming the tree.
So you said, OK, we can go to IKEA in an hour. I've just got to go and trim the tree.
I didn't say I'm going to trim the tree, obviously. I said I've just got something to do in the garden.
Why is it so urgent that this tree needed to be trimmed?
You're not following this story, are you, Sean? I didn't need to trim the tree.
Yeah, but surely wouldn't she go, we'll do it later?
Because it was a casual conversation. We're going to IKEA. Can we go in about an hour? I've just got to do something in the garden. She went, yeah, that's fine. And that was it. Right. We don't live in a relationship where I go, can we go to IKEA? I go, can we go now? I'm doing something in the garden. She doesn't sit me down, put a spotlight on me, and go, just a sing in the garden.
OK.
But you did topiary last week!
So you say you've got to do something in the garden. She says, fine. So you walk out into the garden.
Yes.
Explain how you set the scene.
I go to the shed, right?
Yeah.
I pick my tool wisely because I want to make sure that when I've fallen with it, that it looks dramatic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So what did you pick?
Secateurs, nothing. Those big giant ones. Do you know which one I mean? They look like those old-fashioned bull workers with a pair of scissors at the end.
With the telescopic handles.
That's one. I still needed a ladder. They're not going to get me on that.
Do you climb to the top of this ladder?
I don't need to, do I? There's no trimming to be done. I mean, are you fucking... Anyone else? There's no... I'm not Robert De Niro. I'm not Method. I didn't have to go... I must become the tree trimmer.
Your wife must think you're pretty bad at it if you can go out and presumably instantly fall off the ladder.
I didn't say I fell off instant. I know she's going off to do something else. She says I'm going to the shops then. So I know she's out. So I position everything.
So she says in advance of going to this shop, she's going to the shop.
No. It's an expression that people say I'm just popping to the shops. They don't go, I pop into the individual shop.
No, it's not an expression. It means going to the shop.
No.
Well, is it a euphemism in your house for what? Having a poo?
I pop into the shop. You're going to get me on one letter. All right, I pop into the shop.
So she said she was popping to the shop now. Shop singular in advance of your trip to the shop.
She might have said shop. It's one letter. Give me a break. It's series 9. She may have said shop.
Can I ask
or shops. I'm just popping out. In fact, she said out. I'm popping out.
She's popping.
She was popping out.
So. OK, so she has left the house.
She's left the house.
So you know you've got.
To buy a curly whirly or curly whirlies. I'm not sure. She's gone out. I know she's going to be gone enough time for me to get a ladder, lie it on its side, do the secateur, and lie there in a position that I would describe as
Can I ask
injured.
this question? Why didn't you want to go to IKEA?
I think I go to IKEA to get out of trimming a tree.
I didn't need to trim the tree!
So your wife comes back from the shop before going to the shop, for whatever reason.
And we find that, weirdly, that the different shops sell different things.
Okay.
So I have tried the old, when she goes, I'm just going to buy some potatoes, I've gone, why don't we wait till we're in IKEA? And she said, no, you can't buy. It turns out that different shops sell different things.
So your wife comes back from the potato shop to
No, it's not called the potato shop.
You finished trimming the tree and fallen off a ladder.
Yes.
How much of the tree did you get done?
Did you claim specific injuries that you'd done? When you
Yes.
said, oh, I've just generally hurt us, what? What had you done? What did you say it hurt?
I went, ah! My leg! She went, what's up with it? I said, I don't know, but I can't go to IKEA. And I claim to have injured my coccyx.
How long had she been gone?
It was probably 4 or 5 days this time. I'd say probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Did she still go to IKEA?
Yeah, no, what did she do then? You're there in agony.
She came to help me.
She helped you up.
She helped me up. She tried to get me stood up. I held the base of my back. Is that what the coccyx is?
Yeah.
I held the base of my back.
Yeah.
And she said, you better come inside and sit yourself down. I said, but what about the trip to IKEA? I feel I've let you down. She said, no, that was years ago. I think the bit where I was pushing it, when I shouted, love, can you put that ladder away? I don't need to go rusty. I don't need to go rusty. I might need that in a couple of weeks when we go to Boots.
So what do you think, David? Is this true?
What do you think?
I think it's a lie.
I just think you'd save that for something a bit more...
You think it's a waste?
Well, yeah, it's a waste of an opportunity to get out of something.
I love the fact
like
that
a family Christmas, you could get out of a whole Christmas.
So what are you going to say?
I think we think it's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie. Lee, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Lee didn't pretend he'd fallen off a ladder to get out of a family trip to IKEA. Next. It's Trevor.
I used to be in a South African boy band, but we split up after 3 of us were kicked by a horse on a video shoot.
David's team.
Why was there a horse in the video?
Because that's what you do in, like, boy band videos. You have a horse.
Sing to a horse.
Well, you don't sing to the horse. The horse is there.
Why a horse?
Because, ladies, look at me. I'm on a horse. Like,
You were on the horse.
no, but that's the... Like,
You weren't on the horse, you were next to the horse.
We couldn't all get on the horse because there's 4 of us.
Were any of you on the horse?
You had 4. You had 1 horse between 4 of you.
What was the song?
What was the song?
Yeah.
I Love You, Baby.
The song was called I Love You, Baby?
Yes.
What are the lyrics
We're not
of I
singing
Love
to
You,
the-
Baby?
Well, it's a Xhosa song, Xhosa and Zulu, so I mean, it's called I Love You, Baby. That's the translation into English.
Right.
Give us a taste of it. How does it go?
What, the song?
Yes, the
You
song.
want me to sing it on...
Yes, I want you to sing it.
Well, I'll sing my part. I can't sing the whole...
Well, imagine now, I'm the horse, right? Here I am, ready?
Sing to the horse.
Sing to the horse.
Do tanda baby, Tanda.
This wasn't a big band, was it?
This is my part. I'm singing my part.
lovely.
Tanda. Tanda sa mingi funa wena pen. Tanda ye tanda wena.
We all know it. Get with it, middle-aged man. We all know it.
I just don't get that.
So that's definitely a song.
Do you know what they call that sort of music? Clip-clop.
Can I ask what...
What were you called?
What was the boy band called?
Yeah.
This is weird, because, like, now I have to translate everything into English.
That's handy.
Well, it would help.
No, because it was Sparks Boys. So then... But then in English it means Sparks Boys.
Sparks Boys.
Sparks
Yes.
Boys.
I'm no wonder it took so long to translate that.
What prompted, what provoked the horse to actually
exactly
kick? Why did that happen?
Well, we don't know. Everyone was standing together, and then you're singing. Everyone's facing the camera while you're singing.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, it's just a kick.
Wow.
And then.
But it got 3 band members.
What were the injuries?
Well, the one guy, Dumelo, he got kicked the hardest, so
Yeah.
he was really hurt. So I don't know if he fractured his arm or if he broke something.
Oh, he was going to IKEA. Sorry, love, I've joined a boy band that not kick my ass. Can't make it today.
What I says, why is it the end of the group? Just one horse accident. It's not like a horse, there was a stampede and you got killed by a load of horses. And they go, and there's just like Gary Barlow's head rolling across a field. And you go, I think that's it. I think there's no more comebacks from this. I mean,
From the horse's point of view, the horse was destined for great things. He'd started to appear in pop videos.
yeah.
It's a disaster anyway you
Well,
look
you
at
say
it.
you start getting a reputation for, you know, lashing out in a professional context. It can be the end.
What are you going to say, David?
It's very convincing. I say it's true. I'd go true.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna.
You think true?
Yeah.
I think it might be true. Let's say true.
You say true? OK, Trevor. Truth or lie?
Lie.
And that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that David's team have won by 4 points to 1. But of course, it's not just a team game, and my individual liar of the week this week is Trevor Noah. Yes, it's Trevor Noah. He's dished out more Whoppers than a teenager in Burger King. Good night.